Hi there. Welcome to A New Way to Museum. My name is David Levering. I run the science camps at the Sternberg, as well as our virtual museum on GatherTown. In this series of videos, we're going to be taking a tour of some parts of the virtual museum, and we will also be talking with some Sternberg Museum staff, as well as some outside paleontologists about their work, some of the work that they do that involves the Sternberg Museum, and generally have a good time exploring paleontology in this virtual world. This episode, our guest is University of Chicago PhD student, Evan Johnson-Ransom. Let's go say hi. Oh, hi, Evan. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Welcome to the Sternberg. I see you've been checking out our Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
so I understand a lot of the work that you do is based around theropods. Could you kind of let everyone else know some more information about yourself and the work that you do?
Yeah, so I'm a vertebrate paleontologist interested in studying the feeding behavior of T-Rex and other theropod dinosaurs. And one thing I can say about T-Rex is that there have been numerous studies addressing the bite force and feeding behavior of T-Rex, but there are fewer studies addressing the feeding function in other theropods like Allosaurus, Velociraptors, Spinosaurus, and Carnotaurus. What was their feeding function like?
Mm-hmm. Cool. So how did you kind of first get started on this path to pursuing paleontology and really focusing on theropod dinosaurs?
So, growing up, I had always wanted to be a paleontologist. This included visiting museums, reading books about dinosaurs, and watching documentaries featuring dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals. During my bachelor's, I attended DePaul University and studied under Dr. Kenji Shimada. While I was interested in studying dinosaurs, Dr. Shimada studied fossil fish. By studying under Dr. Shimada, I gained more research techniques and was able to apply that to my master's research. For my master's, I studied under Dr. Eric Snively at Oklahoma State University, and my research focused on the feeding mechanics of Tyrannosauria, a group of theropods that includes the famous T-Rex, by using biomechanical analyses.
Cool. So when you're talking to the public or working through these research projects and going from a question to a final discussion, kind of a final product, how does that kind of work for you? Because everyone loves T-Rex, but I feel like a lot of people maybe don't appreciate how we know so much about T-Rex that we do today.
Yeah, so while I am interested in looking at the feeding behavior of numerous carnivorous animals, questions I like to ask are why did certain animals evolve jaws with different feeding adaptations, and what can this tell us about their ecology?
Oh, okay. So, what is something that you've learned about that topic that has kind of surprised you on this journey through theropod biology?
So while I have focused on the feeding function of theropod dinosaurs, there is one part that I'm usually fascinated with, and that is the neuroanatomy of
Oh,
theropods,
okay.
or studying the brains of theropod
Cool.
dinosaurs. 2 years ago, there was a 2020 study on the neuroanatomy of Irritator. It is a smaller relative of Spinosaurus from Brazil, and the paleontologists were able to study the shape and morphology of the brain, and they found that Irritator was capable of making very rapid strikes with its head and neck. Not to mention, its snout would have been positioned downward, suggesting that it had a rather piscivorous lifestyle or diet consisting of fish. And by studying the neuroanatomy of our theropods and comparing that with living animals like birds and crocodilians, we can infer their behavior.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a heron or a crane or something like that. What you're describing.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Um, so what's something that in your work on something that's very publicly popular? Everyone loves T-Rex. Everyone loves these big theropod dinosaurs. What's something that you wish people could, if you could talk to the entire world of dinosaur lovers, what's something you wish that you could tell people so that they could better understand how theropod dinosaurs are?
One thing I would probably like to discuss is the diversity of theropod dinosaurs. There are numerous theropods that came in a variety of shapes and sizes, but they also displayed unique cranial morphology or different shaped skulls. So you had the deep-snouted bellysaurids like Carnotaurus, as well as the crocodile-snouted Spinosaurids.
So, and that's something that you're using to learn about diet, like the shape of the snout and the shape of the maybe the teeth are kind of helping you understand how they were living in their environment at the time.
Yes.
And can that give you a better picture of what that entire ecosystem was like? Like if you have a lot of long snouted theropods, I imagine that that implies a different kind of environment than a lot of short snouted theropods.
Right. So by inferring their skull morphology, we can also make biomechanical analyses. So I use a biomechanical technique called finite element analysis or FEA. It's kind of like a stress strain simulator.
Oh, cool.
And by subjecting the crania of different theropods to high forces, we can see how they would respond. So theropods with very slender snouts would show very high cranial stress and probably couldn't exert a very high bite force, but theropods with a very short snout would probably show less stress and exhibit a very high bite force.
So are you like squeezing them really hard, or is this all computers that you're doing this with?
This is all done with computers.
Okay. So when did I guess would you say computer science skills are something that's becoming more important for paleontologists to have?
Yes, definitely. Computer science allows us to test the limits and also take a look to see what capabilities dinosaurs would have been capable of.
Okay. I know that looking inside of like skulls using CT scans and looking inside of bone, like with histology and other scanning techniques, is becoming more popular and more favored. Is that something that you've included in any of these?
It's something that I would like to incorporate later down the road, however. So with histology, we can actually take a look to see the rate of growth dinosaurs would have been able to grow, as well as be able to take a look at their ecology, because theropods would have underwent competitive niche partitioning. So this would involve that theropods would have had a different niche or would have fed on different animals based on their age and body size, however, but also see how they would have interacted with other dinosaurs in their environment too, of varying sizes.
Okay. So last question. If you had an unlimited budget and you could address any research question about theropods and money wasn't an issue for you and you could just have all the resources you needed, what's like a burning question about theropods that you would like to see answered?
That is a good question. I think one thing would be how and why did they diversify? Because during the Triassic period, theropods were seen as like mid-tier carnivores like Coelophysis, but upon the extinction of phytosaurs or crocodilian-like animals, they became extinct, however, and they were able to exploit this vacancy. And yet you see a big explosion. So why did this occur, and how were they able to diversify and reach different body sizes and different shapes?
I've heard a little bit about like T-Rex occupying lots of different ecological roles, lots of different jobs in the Cretaceous of North America as they got larger, as they went from a juvenile to an adult. Is that kind of in the same zone that you're talking about?
Yeah, something similar to that actually, because usually when you take a look at environments, you have numerous different theropods of varying sizes having their own niche, but for T-Rex, it's the only large theropod. Some could say that T-Rex was able to change its entire ecosystem in its favor, however. And so who's to say that did it outcompete other tyrannosaurs and other theropods? We don't know.
And so the prey and therefore kind of the ecological job of T-Rex would have changed from the time that it was a little hatchling to the time that it was a full-size giant.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, if there's anything else you'd like to share with folks, welcome to hear it.
Yeah, so this is actually one I would like to say about the paleontology research. So paleontology research is a team effort. Paleontologists will collaborate with other paleontologists based on their research and specializations, like the type of dinosaurs that they study, neuroanatomy, dinosaur growth, etc. But it's also encouraged that they do involve students, both undergraduate and graduate, to be involved with the research to give them the experience and the foundation when entering the field of vertebrate paleontology. Also, for any aspiring paleontologists, I would highly encourage them to get involved with their museum and any other outreach activities that they may have, such as volunteer work, field work, or fossil prep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all great advice. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I'll
Thank you.
leave you to it. Have a great time with the T-Rex, and we'll see you later.
Thanks. Take care.
Thanks for joining me for this new episode of A New Way to Museum. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for new episodes every week. If you'd like to visit our virtual museum yourself, you can do so via the link in the description below this video. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks for joining us in A New Way to Museum with the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. If you enjoyed this video, like it and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notifications when we release a new video. Support us on Patreon for early access and exclusive content. You can also follow us on all our social media. Links are found in the description. Thanks for watching, and follow your curiosity to new discoveries.